everyone! Welcome to today's tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make a super cute wristlet clutch like this with a zipper on top. And these little clutch bags are super popular right now because you can basically throw in all your essentials and go out on a date night and not have to carry around a big purse or anything that you don't really need. So this little pouch here happens to match my t-shirt today by accident, but it will fit everything. And a big surprise that I have for you in this tutorial is we're going to make some card inserts for the inside. Sounds complicated, but I have really pared it down and it is going to be super easy. This sample purse that I'm holding up is a little bit bigger than 9 by 7 inches. But the one we're going to make today is actually going to be around 8.5 by 6.5 inches. So a little bit smaller than this one, but it's going to be exactly the same style. So materials we are going to need: fabric. Now I have a slipcover business, you can tell, rockin' cushions. So all of my fabric is actually heavyweight home decor fabric. You can use any fabric you want. I would recommend a thicker fabric, just, you know, it's a purse, so it's probably going to get a little bit more wear when it's outside. And also for the pockets on the inside, you kind of want them to be a bit more firmer. If you really want to use a thinner fabric that comes in widths of 44 inches, you might want to consider doing an interfacing. It's that stuff that you iron on the back to actually stiffen up the fabric. Completely optional. In my opinion, you might as well get the thicker one and just make it easy on yourself. So first piece of fabric is going to be cut 9 inches by 7 inches. 9 inches this way, 7 inches this way. Second piece of fabric is going to be cut 9 inches wide by 24 inches long. And this is going to function not only as the back side of the purse, but also as the inside card pockets. I'm going to show you how. Also, we're going to need a zipper. So I personally don't like using zipper feet on my sewing machine. It's just a big hassle, and you know, I love to take a shortcut, so that's what I'm going to do today. So I've purchased a big chunky zipper like this. It's about 10 inches long, which is great. And yeah, big chunky zipper. I can use it on my with my regular sewing foot on my machine. Easy peasy Japanesey. The other thing you're going to need is a ring. Actually, this is completely optional. On my sample here, I have a little ring piece which attaches to the purse, but we can completely forego this if you want. And if you don't decide to use a ring, you will just imagine that this is going to be sewn straight into the purse like this, and that is completely fine as well. In this tutorial, I am going to use my 1-inch split ring. And that's about it. So let's get to it. First step, we are going to seal around the edges of the fabric. Now I have a serger, so I am just going to zip an overlock edge all the way around. If you don't have a serger or an overlocker, you can cut the pieces maybe a little bit bigger, 1/4 inch bigger, and you can do like a little double hem like this, like turn it over once, turn it over twice. You can do I don't know what your machine settings have, but just something that basically will seal the edges. A zigzag stitch would work just as well. So let's do that right now. So now we have our 2 pieces of fabric sealed all the way around. This is the smaller piece and this is the larger piece. And the reason we want to do this is because we don't want the inside of the purse to fray. So these edges are going to be sewn up in a straight stitch, but inside you're going to be putting things in there and it's going to have a lot of activity, and you just don't want the edges of the material on the inside to start fraying, and then you get holes and it's a whole other thing. So best to do it right now. After we do this, we are going to put in the zipper. So here's my chunky zipper. I forgot to mention, if you want to get a fancy zipper, that would be even better because you'll add a little bit of glam to your purse. I just have this basic black chunky zipper, and when you put the zipper in, you are just going to put the teeth and the zipper head face down on the front side of your fabric. So this is the front side of my fabric, and this is the zipper head and the teeth, the top of the zipper, and both of these pieces are going to face each other. So just like this. and we're going to line up the edge of the zipper with the top edge of the fabric, and we are just going to do a single stitch all the way across. So this is what it looks like after we've sewn in the zipper for the first time. Just been sewn straight across here, and then if you flip the zipper up, you will see that the fabric is attached underneath. And what we want to do right now is top stitch this down. Just using the regular sewing foot that we have, we're just going to top stitch that down so it lies nice and flat. So now we have done the first side of the purse with the zipper in place, and it's time to just repeat the exact same thing with the other side of the purse. So here is my piece that I'm going to attach now, and just line it up same as before, top of the zipper like this. We're going to do a single straight stitch all the way across, and then we're going to flip it up and top stitch it down so it's nice and flat. So this next part is a little bit tricky, which is why I have the fabric laid out on the table like this. As you can see, this long piece is going to be on top, and all you're going to do is you are going to mark where to fold the fabric. So here I have 3.5 inches from the bottom. I'm going to mark it right here, and the next mark I'm going to do will be, if I can zoom out, 12.5 inches. You're going to mark it right there. And same for the bottom. Here we have 12.5 inches, and this bottom piece is 3.5 inches. Now all we're going to do is we are going to take hold of the fold that is at 12.5 inches, and we are going to move it up closer to the zipper like this. Line it up just like that. About 1/2 inch underneath the zipper is fine. And then we're going to fold up the second mark that we did up underneath it, and we're going to line up the bottom edge to the bottom of the piece that is underneath. So can you see all these pieces here are lined up like that? And this is going to form your card pockets. So all we're going to do right now is we're going to measure the halfway point, and we're going to draw a line down here, and then we are going to sew all the way down. And it's probably best if we do a double stitch right down here, but only on this side of the purse. We are not going to sew through to the bottom side. So let's just flip that up. There we go. We are going to sew halfway right down the middle. Okay, so now my little hook is done, and I am going to position this just right here under the hem on a corner of the towel, and I'm just going to leave a little bit of a slack so it doesn't, you know, fit too tight in there. So this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so now we have something resembling this. So we've sewn these two pockets together. This is your cards pockets here. So we've sewn that part together, and if you flip it up, the bottom should meet the bottom of the other side, just like that. So it's basically inside out right now. I am just gonna pin the edges just so that it all lines up properly, and then all we need to do is sew the edges down with the handle in place. Oh my gosh, I pricked myself. And we're going to sew down here, sew down here, sew up here with the handle inside, turn it inside out, and it's done. So before we get to sewing again, let's just cut the piece for the handle. You are going to cut a length that is 3 inches by 17 inches. Actually, you know what? If you're not using the ring, you're only going to need 15 inches by 3 inches. And then you're going to fold this top part like this. You're going to fold this bottom part like this. just going to do it this way. Iron this down so it's nice and flat, and then you're going to fold it in again, and you are going to top stitch all the way down the bottom. So let's do that before we go any further. Now, as I mentioned, if you're just using the handle only without a ring, this length is going to be cut at 15 inches. If you are going to use the ring, like I am, I cut this at 17 inches because I am going to cut off 2 inches of this piece. That there. And this little piece is going to be fed through the ring like this. And this is going to go inside one of the edges just under the zipper. So I am going to feed the ring that is, in between the 2 main pieces of fabric, just like this. And I'm going to make sure that the edge lines up with the edge just like that. I'm going to put a pin in it. If you aren't using a ring, then you are just going to fold this piece in a little handle like this, and instead of putting the ring piece inside the purse, you are going to put your handle inside the purse. So you are basically going to line up the edge of the handle with the edge of the 2 pieces of fabric inside between the 2 layers. So here we go. Stick it just in like that. And then you are going to sew it inside. So this is the purse inside out. As you can see, we have our card pockets in here and a little extra pocket in the back. Everything's been sewn up around the edge, and now I'm going to turn it inside out. I forgot to mention, before you sew this all together, make sure you open the zipper, because it is really hard to turn things inside out through a tiny hole. So be sure to open the zipper as you go around so you don't make that mistake. I almost did. A little trick you can do if you're using super thick fabric, this isn't too bad, but you can actually cut the corners on the inside, so when you turn it inside out, it's much easier. And here's my little ring that I put in earlier. Almost done! If you didn't want a handle, you could use it just like this. And again, I'm just going to show you inside the little pockets that we've made for our cash and credit cards on date night. And now all I'm going to do with my handle, seeing as I have a ring, is I am going to just pull it through here, and I am going to stitch right across here, and then I am going to stitch again. Let me just put a pin in this so you can see what I'm talking about. So I am going to stitch like this, and then I'm going to pull it through to where the ring is, and I am going to stitch it again on the inside, something like this. I'll do it better at the end. Okay, let's go. Let me show you this again, since I didn't do a good job explaining it just now. So I have just stitched this end part together like this, and then I'm just going to turn it inside out so the join is on the inside, and then I'm going to position it, this join, closer to the ring like this. Can you see where the seam is? Great. And then I am just going to top stitch this seam down at the ring like that. It's going to look like that with a little top stitch just down here. And voila! Here we have it. Cute little date night wristlet clutch with a chunky zipper on top and credit card compartments inside. I'm so happy you joined me for this tutorial today. I really hope you like it, and please comment below. I would love to hear how it turned out for you. Thank you!